Welcome back, folks, to the second build in Special Projects pack number 19, and for those of you who follow Special Projects more recently and regularly, you will of course recognise this car. I'm pretty sure actually I said this one was coming, or at least alluded to it. It's an even more extreme version of an already fictional car, which was a more extreme version of an already extreme car. So you've got the Demon already, a roughly 800 horsepower monster. Then I thought, you know what if there were more of a track-focused ACR version, which I believe Dodge was considering for a while in real life, and of course you could check out that build as well. This one is literally building from that build, so I bought another Challenger, did everything I'd done in the other build, and then built on top of that. So in other words, if you want to turn your other ACR Challenger into this one, you literally can. So you don't need to like backtrack on any of the parts or unfit any of them, if you will. You can literally take that car and turn it into this one if you don't want to buy two of them. I mean, why not buy two? It's not that expensive, but you can do that if you want to. Of course, yet again, is my own livery for this particular one. This time around, I've not done the triple colours because the idea of this one, much like the Viper ACR-X, is a totally track-focused, essentially racing version of the car. Not street legal, doesn't have to adhere to road laws. It's the GT3 RS Cup, if you will, of the muscle car world. So we've gone far more extreme. Still not that extreme on horsepower, though, and to me that is fairly grounded as to what the actual car would be like, but another significant drop in weight and a huge difference on points. For reference, this is about I think it's 40 horsepower increase. Personally, 888 horses just looks perfect on this car. For the weight, I've dropped it by exactly 200 kilos, from 1775 to 1575, because again, that is a lot, but I wanted it to feel pretty realistic, and dropping 200 kilos out of a car by stripping out its interior, that's pretty realistic, especially if you go for like carbon fibre body parts as well, so that could certainly be done, probably even more than that to be honest. And then as far as the point level, well, thanks to the tyres in particular, huge jump there. This is nearly 100 points higher on the point level compared to the other version. So both definitely have their uses, and of course in a second we'll take it out to Laguna Seca again to really see how it compares. For now though, as far as the weight, you do not need the extreme one for this one, so you want your stage 1 weight reduction. The sports hards, of course, are already on there. For the club sports section then, we've got the stage 2 weight, the ballast as well. For the semi-racing stuff, we've got the ECU, the diff, the stage 3 weight, and I actually have opted for the body rigidity upgrade on this one. For the racing stuff, we've gone for the filter, the silencer, again, race car, track-focused car, so of course full straight pipe exhaust system. The race manifold pads, I've gone for the carbon ceramics, which is why you can't see the brakes purchased here. The race clutch and flywheel, suspension, I've actually gone for one of the big differences which I believe this car would have, which is more of like that sequential, almost Ascari A10 snap shift kind of gearbox, which I can imagine a car like this having. Racing hard tyres, there of course is one of the key differences, along with the weight versus the normal ACR version. For the extreme stuff, the steering angle adapter, like I said, the carbon ceramic brakes, and for the ultimate stuff, there's nothing fitted. So like I said, if you compare this side by side to the other version, visually speaking, it probably looks like I've essentially just done the same thing. As I was alluding to earlier on, there are not 3 colours for this one. In the other one, I did white, red, and black. This time, much like the Viper, I've only done it in white, and instead of having the red and black stripes, it's just black on black. I've added the 2 bonus stripes as well, again Viper style, on the wing and on the bonnet. So it's kind of like a subtle visual change. It's also got the 2 headlamp deletes on the front end as well. So just to make it look that little bit more aggressive, a bit more like a track car. And of course it has the roll cage as well, which is a difference. So we've got the racing hards fitted. For the suspension, 90mm and 110, 6 on the anti-roll, 25 and 35 on the dampers, 3.5 on the springs, 1.5 degrees of camber. As far as the toe, 0.20 in on the rear, 0.10 out on the front. For the diff, 10, 30 and 20. As far as the transmission, relatively close ratio for a car that's got this many gears to work with, of 360 kilometers an hour. As far as the ballast, 100 kilos. Pretty nice rounded off way of doing it. I've put that all the way to the back, which of course is still front bias, but a little bit more race car style. And as far as the downforce, unsurprisingly, I am running the maximum. And of course over here you can see everything else. So huge power, huge torque, but to me it's still pretty believable in terms of the levels. 1575 kilos is still believable for the car. 888 horsepower obviously is. And with racing tyres, well, it has pretty huge potential. And speaking of that potential, we of course need to jump out to the track so I can show you the difference. Now, it's when we jump out to Laguna Seca that the crazy difference that this one has over the other car really comes into focus, because to say it's nearly 100 points higher, that is quite a big deal. So it has to be quicker. It needs to be significantly faster to justify being about 635 points in the other form to now 730. That's like Group 3 racing car territory. So how much quicker is it? Well, 9 seconds quicker, which is a pretty massive difference over what was not exactly a slow car to begin with. That means in literal terms, the ACR version, which I did in a previous pack, did a 1 minute 36 lap, which is not really slow for a muscle car. This is a 1:27, so monstrously quick in comparison to that other version. Of course, the weight and the tyres making by far the biggest difference there, and we've just tightened up a few other things to give it that advantage. This is so much fun to drive, and especially with those close ratio gears, this thing just flies through the gears even in automatic mode, which again gives it that kind of a scarry, brutal acceleration style. It actually doesn't wheel spin anywhere near as much as you'd think, at least not in an uncontrolled kind of way, especially for a car with, if you think about it, basically TVR speed 12 levels of power, which is insane when you think about it in those terms. And this is about 4 milliseconds quicker than the Viper ACR-X, which to me, that's kind of awesome. To be not only in a similar kind of ballpark, but that close to the Viper. And of course the Viper is lower on points, but again, it's a Viper going up against a big old boxy muscle car, so I think that's actually pretty damn impressive compared to how quick you would think a muscle car would be versus a Viper. So I really love this one. It's definitely one of my favourites this time around, and to be honest, as a little peek behind the curtain, when I told you there was an X version coming, I hadn't even built it yet. So to promise that and then to deliver in this way, even if nobody else enjoys it, I'm happy about how well it's turned out. 9 seconds is ridiculous in terms of how much quicker it is. So if you do decide to use it, certainly if you were already a fan of the ACR, well, you're definitely going to love this one. It's a beast, but a surprisingly forgiving beast, I will definitely say. If you enjoy this build, of course, check out the other ones that are still coming up in the week, and of course, until next time, I'll see you then. But for now, thanks for watching.